Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
It's the track Too Tough to Tame in Darlington, South Carolina. The Lady in Black. It goes by many names. But the most important part is you don't want to add paint to the wall. That will be the most difficult part of getting around this egg-shaped oval. Live here today on V-Speed, it's Apex Sim Racing Cup Series action for race number 6 of the season. Welcome in, everybody. I'm your host, Bradley Cooper. Been with you all season long. If you're just tuning in, well, it's been action-packed. 4 different winners across 4 different races. It's actually race number 5. You can see here with Eddie Smith just hanging on with 14 points separating him. Garrett Kinder and Eric Tracy close behind. Then you have Cody Bame with a win. Garrett Kinder gets a win. Dylan Bates and Jesse Whittington moving up 10 positions to 12th. After getting his win last week. It was just a matter of time before he found victory lane. But all in all, it's been tight, it's been close. You've had a variety of different drivers lead these races. We really haven't guessed a dominant performer in this Cup car. It's been a little bit all over the place. And last week at Bristol, some tempers flared up. Darlington could cause more of the same. It's going to be very difficult to pass at this racetrack. This egg-shaped oval built back in 1950 hasn't changed. It's been narrow grooved and the banking is all towards the top, up next to the wall. If you've ever caught a race here at Darlington Raceway, you already know that these drivers are going to be ripping the fence every single lap, and that's really the fastest way to get around this track. Passing, difficult. Getting to the inside of someone and clearing them out of turn 2, very difficult. Last lap passes is going to probably come down to a driver that makes a mistake, hits that outside wall, comes down across the nose of somebody, etc. It's going to be really tough racing. Guarantee you're going to see some damaged cars before the end of it. Nonetheless, we're going to have 110 laps here today. Stage lap at lap 30, pit road speed limit 45 miles per hour. One of the more difficult pit roads to get on and off of as well here at Darlington. You'll actually start your entry to pit road entering turn 3, so you better be pretty committed to pit road before you come down it. 3 tire sets available, 70% fuel, 2 green-white checkered attempts at our disposal tonight. So with that, we've got about 2.5 minutes left in qualifying here, and we're actually getting ready to set the grid, but right now, as it sits, Eric Tracy has that top spot. So we'll go ahead and look for Eric Tracy right now and see if we can pull him up into the broadcast booth. It's Velocity Motorsports driver in the 67, Eric Tracy. Do you got a copy?
Yeah, how's it going?
Well, pretty good for you. You start up on the top spot here today. It's been one of those racetracks that you maybe favor, and it's going to be difficult to pass. So does this make this race any easier for you to get around tonight?
I don't know. We'll see. I'm not really sure what happened where I found that at. It was kind of a shock to me when I saw the time pop up. So I know there's a couple of really fast guys that are back there that maybe didn't have a great lap that are going to be coming there, working their way up through. So we'll see how it goes.
We still have a few drivers that are yet to qualify. I think Ray Rogers is out there on the racetrack right now, but looks like not good enough for the pole. And he's still out there for a second lap, but I don't think he's going to get it. He's within a hundredth of a second, so this is going to be really awkward if I'm talking to the pole sitter, and then suddenly you're not.
Yeah, I mean, if he beats me, then good for him.
Well, Eric, anything else you want to add there? I know this track is labeled many different names, but most importantly, you don't want to paint the wall here.
No, that's true. Yeah, try to keep it off the wall. These cars are pretty fragile. They ain't gonna like getting run into the wall too many times. So that's definitely the goal. Keep it clean and see if we can get a good finish.
We appreciate your time, Eric. Good luck out there today.
All right, thank you.
Velocity Motorsports driver Eric Tracy, and Ray Rogers got within a hundredth of a second there. Just to add on that would have been really awkward. I had pulled him up and realized that Ray Rogers was still out on the racetrack. He had just popped out as I pulled him into the booth, and he almost made a liar out of me. So thanks, Ray, for just being a hundredth off there. I appreciate that. So with that, let's take you trackside now. Get that Peg Leg Pole Award up on your screen. Starting on the top spot, of course, is Eric Tracy, so congratulations to him. He will start on the top spot here today. And let's go through our starting grid. American Grit Apparel Co. Starting grid, 29.187. You can see right there between Ray Rogers how close it was. It's 15 100ths of a second. That's pretty tight. So I think Ray Rogers might have something for the 67, at least in the short run. Going on to row number 2, it's Garrett Kinder. He has a win this season. Elliott Carlson starting his outside. AJ Rogers is going to start in 5th position. Eddie Smith, V-Speed's very own, up in row number 3. And then it's Tracy Passons and Dylan Bates. 8th position for the 91. Dana Shepard and Rick Rube will round out your top 10 as we move on to Brandon Wallace and Jason Lottridge in the number 8. Aaron Adcock and Jesse Whittington, 13th and 14th position. Then row number 8 goes to Chuck Feltz. Christopher Hinner in the 24 will start in 16th. Davey Jones and Cody Boehm, 17th and 18th. Boehm electing not to take a time. Everyone from 18th back. Josh Oswald, Christian Dedman not taking a time. 25 cars on the racetrack here today. Kieran Church and Noah Carmen. Alan Smith and Matt Rogers. And the final car on the field is Anthony Edgerton in the number 77. We'll also have a driver cam with Edgerton tonight. Still waiting on a couple cars to grid here. We'll go ahead and take a look at this racetrack. Revamp here on the iRacing service. New art as they will hit the grid now. Everyone on the racetrack should see that iRacing pace car roll away here in just a moment. There goes Tracy and Rogers to lead them around. Should only have one pace lap here today. I apologize. Part of that revamp did change a bit of the art here today. So if some of these cameras are a little bit off tonight, that would be the reason why. We have a new 3D fence, as well as the safer barriers, the paint on the walls, the lighting effects, the physics of the marbles. There's a multitude of things that they changed on this racetrack to make it look more realistic. Updated this Las Vegas, Iowa, Homestead. I believe New Hampshire got a revamp there recently as well. I don't think it was part of this update, but just, you know, iRacing trying to catch up with the times and improve the service, and I'm all for it. But let's see how much these drivers have improved their attitudes towards each other after Bristol. Here for week number 5, Apex Sim Cup Series. Live and racing at Darlington. Already putting pressure on the back bumper of Eric Tracy is Ray Rogers in the 51. They've pulled away from Kinder, and now you see the move to the inside. Rogers let the 67 lead one lap. They're going to make contact into 3. And the 67 gets moved out of the way. Caution's coming out. Oh, in big trouble. 4 more cars involved. Make that 5 with the 19. The leader goes from the front to the back in 1 corner. And Eric Tracy not happy on the radio. This up a little bit further. You're going to see a move here into 1 and 2. I think we go on board with Rogers. He has the move to the inside right here. And I don't think he did it on purpose. But Tracy just can't get back to the throttle and actually ends up looping it after the fact. And these tires very cold, so when you're hitting that wall trying to pull it off the top, sometimes it gets stuck up there. That safer barrier kind of glues the car, and then once you're able to pull it off the wall, you've got so much wheel into it that it just loops itself. Let's back this up a little bit further and look at it from our blimp camera. And right here, you're going to see the contact. Tracy actually comes down a little bit. They meet in the middle of the 51. This is the narrow groove we were just talking about in the pre-race. There's really nowhere to go on the entry of the corner. I think the 51 maybe could have backed that up a little bit more, but he did want to keep the nose inside and maybe just back up that entry so he could take a cut. But these cold tires, it's difficult to say. It's hindsight's 2020, and it's also really easy for me to say that was even possible on these cold tires from the booth. But it's very, very unfortunate here for the 67. We had our pre-race interview with him. He sounded optimistic. And, you know, the guy that we mentioned, Ray Rogers, who was just a 100th shy and figured he would be one of the guys to contend, at least in the short run, gets into him here to start the race off. Unfortunate circumstances. And I'm sure we haven't heard the end of it. The session's fastest lap goes to the, I believe, 13 machine of Garrett Kender. He was about 800s faster than the leader right now. He might be a driver to look out for, maybe going for his second win of the season as we get squared back up. Caution there on lap number 2 to start this thing off. I don't think we've seen the end of door banging or wall touches as early as we are into this race, but remember, lap 30, the stage. Green flag's out. Ray Rogers into turn 1. Rogers gets a little bit tight there on the exit of 2. We got a car down on the bottom. I think that's Edgerton that got moved out of the way. Go back and take a look at that after we see Kender go by. I said he was the fastest car on the racetrack. He almost got clear out of turn 4. 13 has the preferred line here through 1 and 2, but they better sort it out before they get to the exit. This is the most difficult part of this racetrack to pass. And here comes Eddie Smith to take it 3 wide down the backstretch. He looks to the inside. He's all the way down on the apron, but we've got problems in the back of this field with a big crash, and caution is out. Lottridge is around. Something happened back here, and maybe some retaliation. Not entirely sure. Anthony Edrington was also involved, I believe. We're going to go back and unpack a few of these things. First off, we need to go back and look at this lead battle. Out of turn 2, the 13 can't quite get clear, and Eddie Smith takes it 3 wide down the back straightaway, and then you see back there with Dylan Bates, that's where it all begins. And Rogers backs out of it there. Now we'll go back and take a look at what happened to Dylan Bates coming out of turn 2. Looks like contact between him and maybe got a little bit loose off the exit, but the 17 of Aaron Adcock comes back up into traffic there, slides it all the way across the entry at turn 3, and wow. I think that was Rick Rube who just dodged that. We'll go on board here with the 81. Get skinny. So a new leader here. Garrett Kender takes over the top spot. Eddie Smith willing to take it 3 wide. Very aggressive, very early in this race. But as we said, tires at a premium here today. This old asphalt surface will chew them up quickly. And since everyone's stuck on the same part of this racetrack, the groove's going to wear in very quickly as well. Track temps are going to go up, and there will be hot spots all around the corners. And I agree, it is. It is very early. But we do have, I believe, fast repairs tonight. I could be wrong on that, but I believe there is one fast repair for these drivers to use. Thankfully. But if you break it bad enough and have to tow to pit road, you're still going to end up a lap down. So hopefully for some of these guys like Dylan Bates, where they spun around, Aaron Adcock, able to get back to pit road. Let's see if Eddie Smith has anything for the 13. Who's the fastest car on the racetrack, still has the best lap. While he was trying to complete that pass on the 51, remember the 3 wide, we'll have to wait and see if we see any more of that. as we go to the Geico restart zone. Darlington already giving us some action here. Green flag is out. We're back underway. And they're holding on to the point. Eddie Smith starting to get close to the bumper. But better exit speed here for the 13, but he's getting tight. It looks like Clean Air has not been kind to the leader. Seems this car is getting a better drive off when it's behind somebody. You can see right here, Eddie Smith doesn't have air on the nose, and he can get back to the throttle sooner. There's a little strange, bizarre behavior. '51 car, Ray Rogers back into the picture as well. Here comes Eddie Smith off of turn 4. A little touch there on the door. Kinder holds on for another lap. Just a slight little quarter panel touch. And that can be enough to send these cars around. Off of turn 2, though, top 3 within a couple tenths of each other. On back through this field, some drivers that are on the move. 10 spots gained here for Cody Boehm. He's up to 8th position from 18th, elected not to take a qualifying time. He's already clawed his way into the top 10. We've barely had any racing here, and we've had more wrecks than racing to start this thing off. That might have helped Boehm, as he was able to avoid all of that. They worked up to positions quickly. Just behind him, Brandon Wallace in the number 99. Pretty solid start for him today, as he has gained 2 spots. 11 positions gained for the car just behind him, and that's the 22 of Kieran Church, Velocity Motorsports driver in the 22. He's gained 11 positions. Biggest mover so far, though, is Matt Rogers in the 96. He started all the way at the tail end of this field, and he's up to 12th. In the wall, though, out of turn 2. That's not going to help his cause. Eddie Smith takes over the lead, though. We missed the pass for the lead. We'll back this up here. Take a look at it on our V-Speed Instant Replay. This is going into turns 3 and 4, where Eddie Smith got to the inside coming out of 2 and clears the 13 of Kinder. We're back to the live shot. He's pulled out almost half a second already. Seems like this car likes dirty air for some reason tonight, which is fitting because you're going to be in it all race long. Darlington is impossible not to be behind somebody's line every lap. If you're competitive and fast, you're going to have someone near you, behind you, taking away your line, taking away the air off the nose. Ray Rogers knows that oh too well right now as he rides behind Derek Kinder. You can see he's getting a little bit of air on the nose right here. Having to play with the throttle a lot to stay down there versus going up near that wall. Some drivers claim, I don't know if it's true or not, but they claim they can ride the cushion up there and feel the air off the wall. I've never really believed that. I don't think it's really integrated into iRacing's physics, but whatever helps them get by with it. As we see the pass for second position, Kinder falls back. The 51 of Rogers gets by. Setting his sights on the leader, Eddie Smith. Back here with Kieran Church going by Dana Shepard for 8th position. Cody Boehm and Kieran Church kind of following each other up through this field. Jesse Whittington to the inside of the 14 of Noah Carmen. And that is a horrible camera angle on that 3D fence. We did get to see a good look at the 3D fence, but that's not what we want to see here today. So with the new art updates, we do have to probably revamp our cameras. We'll definitely have to do some work behind the scenes to get the angles just right. But it is a nice upgrade here, and I can't wait to see what else they do for the rest of these racetracks. Jesse Passons loses a position to Cody Bame. Bame's in the wall, though, just ahead of him as we ride on board with Passons in the 53. Not running quite as high as the cars in front of him here, but does get a decent enough exit. You see up there with Babe, he's running a lot higher, kind of double diamonding the corners as Passons is kind of holding a steady line through the turn. And that's, you know, there's a million and one ways. There's no wrong way, really, as Passons actually gets up into the wall here while we were riding on board with him. That would probably go down as the wrong way, I guess. There is a wrong way as you clip the wall. So you want to try to prevent that. The Darlington stripe that this place is notorious for. As you see Eddie Smith starting to have some company. The 51 of Ray Rogers within a couple tenths. Slowly working his way closer. Back here with Dylan Bates, who had problems early in this race. He's going to go toe-to-toe with the 96 of Rogers. Got around Rogers and working his way up. Jesse Whittington on the move still. 94 car. Adding his name to the win column there last week. Trying to go back-to-back. Started in 14th. He's got a long way to go, but he's on the right track. Up 5 positions down to 9th. We've watched some of these drivers compete in the Sunoco Cup Series, and I bring that up because we've seen probably 50% of this field in that series. We've also seen some of these drivers in other series. And seeing them all mesh together here at a racetrack where it's impossible to escape one another really is a testament to their relationships, their racecraft, and how they're going to get along through the rest of this season. Bristol really put a test on it. Now we're seeing kind of the fallout from Bristol, the patience level, and these guys working around each other. The 94 methodically picks his way around Kieran Church. Dana Shepard now going to work on the 53 of Passons, but it's a huge gap of 2.5 seconds up here to Cody Bame. And Bame hanging on to the tail of this top 5 with Elliott Carlson just in front of him. Carlson's actually down 1 spot, but he's had probably the most consistent day. Hasn't hit the wall yet, so there's a positive. As he continues to hold on to a top 5 position. Jesse Whittington does get around Passons. They're starting to claw their way closer to this group. A wall touch there for the 94. The battle for the lead is as hot as ever. 51 pokes to the inside through 3 and 4, all over Eddie Smith coming off the exit. So Ray Rogers trying to figure out a way to get around Eddie Smith. He hasn't done it yet. Hasn't even got to the quarter panel. Eddie Smith doing a great job on defense, trying to take away that line and just kind of stab the throttle, keeping him from getting to the inside. That's the trick. If you can get to the inside, as we have a caution, I believe Passons is around. No, it's not Passons. This is the stage. Okay. So caught me off guard here Smith almost losing the lead, and I wasn't even paying attention to the lap counter. The stage winner, stage complete. Race number 5, Eddie Smith is going to get that win. Top 10 on the left-hand side of your screen. Smith, Rogers, Kinder, Rogers with AJ Rogers, Cody Bain, the top 5. And Elliott Carlson, Jesse Whittington, Kieran Church, Dana Shepard, and Dylan Bates, the top 10. Down pit road, everyone's going to come in this time. 4 tires and fill it up with fuel. You actually see Rube stay out. A few of these drivers trying to get wave bys. There's the 67 of Eric Tracy, your pole sitter. He's going to get a wave around here this time. So he'll be back on the lead lap as everyone finds their stall. Remember, Eddie Smith started a little bit deeper in this field. Back in the 6th position, I believe. Down and away here for Smith. He's going to win the battle off of pit road. Hassens Kinders stay in position, but Cody Bain gains a couple, as does Jesse Whittington. Elliott Carlson having problems on pit road, a little bit longer in the box. So Rick Rube stays out on the racetrack, and he will take over the top spot. At the very least, going to get a lap led. Doesn't look like he's going to commit to pit road, but he'll have 20 lap old tires for this restart. Don't go anywhere. We still have plenty of racing left to be done. You are watching the Apex Sim Racing Cup Series live on V-Speed. More coverage, the second stage, right after this.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome back to Darlington Raceway, where Rick Rube on 20-lap old tires has stayed out. We hit the restart zone to go back green. A little bit of tire spin on the outside. He's trying to get it going into turn 1. We're back underway at Darlington. And a big stack up here through 1 and 2 with Rube in the middle. Down to the bottom now. Hinder actually loses 3 spots because of that. The wheel spin on the 81 takes Kinder back to 5th. He was outside the front row on the restart. He's going to move the 81 out of the way a little bit. Gets to the inside, a little touch on the door. Claims a position car off the racetrack in the background. That's AJ Rogers. And a big pile up through 1 and 2. 12 cars involved in this one. The 67 of Tracy, who had just gotten back on the lead lap, involved. The 1 of Oswald also in this. The 17 of Aaron Adcock. It would probably be easier to just say half the field is wrecked in this one. There's the contact between the 88 and the 22. Back up on the racetrack and just nowhere to go. That is the racing line. And almost everyone that was behind it involved in some way. On board with the 24, Christopher Hinner. Those are teammates there. They got into one another. We'll go on board with the 22 and see his point of view. And Passons goes underneath the 22 car. Heavy damage on here in the church. He was having such a solid race to start this out. Thankfully has a fast repair. Some of these drivers happen to use that fast repair very early in this event. While we have a chance, we're going to pull up the driver of the 24, Po-Man Motorsports driver Christopher Hinner. I tell you what, man, it's not been kind to you today. Everything that's happened has happened right in front of you.
Yeah, it seemed like that's been the story of the day, to be honest with you.
So it looks like we're kind of picking up where we left off from Bristol, or the temper's still flaring out there from last week.
Not from my side of it. It's not. It's just like you said, everything's sort of happening right in front of me. And I had one little mix-up where I lost it coming out of, I can't remember which turn it was, but I lost that one on my own. And then everything else just sort of, I can't get clear of it.
Well, hopefully we're seeing this come to an end a little bit. Some of these drivers happen to burn fast repairs. Maybe that dials the intensity back a little bit.
It'd be nice because I just had to burn one because of that last incident. So hopefully it calms some stuff down.
Well, we're doubling back up. Christopher, is there anybody want to shout out real quick while we have you up in the booth?
No, just thanks to Aaron for putting this on, and thanks to you for all you do with broadcasting, and hopefully it's better than it has been.
Alrighty, well, we're putting the gloves back on with Aaron Adcock, so hopefully we get back green here. Appreciate your time.
Thanks, sir.
Po-Man Motorsports driver Christopher Hinner will be restarting in 17th position as Eddie Smith comes to the command car. Into the Geico restart zone. Here we go, back underway. He's got Cody Babe on the back bumper. So these drivers are using fifth gear on the straightaways, fourth gear through the corners. You'll hear Smith hit fifth gear just as he comes down the backstretch. Maybe next time by. There's the drive off of turns 3 and 4. And the caution is out again here with Passons. And they're still wrecking ahead of it. Brandon Wallace, Eric Tracy, and the 3 of Alan Smith all get a piece of this one. We haven't had to test the 3D catch fence just yet. It's just a matter of time. These guys racing really hard. Let's go back on our wreckage rewind and find out what happened here. Passons gets moved. I think the 75 maybe gets involved here. The 53 sent around. And we were just talking to him. Let's see if he got through it. He did. Christopher Hinner able to avoid that one. Passons gets a double tap there. I he got clipped. I don't think he officially made it through that one. The 99 of Brandon Wallace did give him a little touch there from the back. But we need to go back and look at what happened to passes. I think he got double tap here with the 75 to the inside. There's a check up here with Rube on the outside, which causes the 53 to check up. But the 10 car comes back up the racing surface into the right rear quarter panel, and that just creates the stack up that you saw there with Brandon Wallace and everyone on by all at the same time. Car looks a little difficult to handle once you lose control. It really tough to get it back. And that creates another caution here. 5 cautions, 4 of those from incident, 1 with the stage, 5 lead changes. And your stage 1 winner, we're looking at him right now, continuing to lead some laps as we get ready to rack them back up. We'll go back double file here for the 6th time today from Darlington. Smith has led 26 of the 43 that are going to be completed when we go back green, who have 27 laps led. He has Cody Bame looking for his 2nd win of the season. Remember, Eddie Smith, your points leader coming into today. But he's winless. He's put together quite a few top 5s. He's been one of the more consistent drivers that average finish a little higher than everybody else. That's what's helped him propel, but he needs a victory when it comes postseason. Those wins add up. Let's see if he can get it done. Just about at the halfway mark here from Darlington. Green flag. Bame finds a slot in line, and he'll go to work. See if he can get up front. A lot of side-by-side back here deep in the field. Big check up here. Dylan Bates gets to the inside of the 09 of Carlson. Carlson lost some spots on pit road, and Dylan Bates working towards the top 5. Jesse Whittington has broke the top 5. Did that after pit stops, after stage 1. We haven't really had an opportunity to see what these guys that work their... Oh, car in the wall. That's the 10 of Davy Jones, and the left front destroyed. The Coors Light number 10 looks like it is done for the day. Needs to come down pit road. This will be coming out of turn 2. And I think he loses it all by himself. Yes, he does. Slides out into the safer barrier, and then even harder hit to the inside wall. Tough break there for the 10 of Davy Jones. Smith is pulled out quite a ways. Something happened to Cody Bame. We'll have to go back and see if we can find what happened to the 78 car, but he lost 2 spots during that replay. And this isn't a records rewind. This is just problems here for the 78. We might have to go back even further here. He got passed by Kender. and then goes under fire. He actually tags the wall coming out of 2, and looks like Whittington and everybody gets to his inside. They're still passing in real time now. You see the 10 using that fast repair, but here comes Whittington to the inside into the entry of 3. He'll stay inside for that 5th spot. He was in the top 5. Whittington lost a position to Dylan Bates, trying to get back into it now as Bates goes after Ray Rogers. So some of these drivers staying in 4th gear, riding right on the chip. This guy is showing his speed here. The 4 fresh tires, class of the field. He's pulled out 1.5 seconds and continues to lead. Eddie Smith, who knew how good he was at Darlington? I didn't know. He's putting on a show right now. Ray Rogers, who had the lead there briefly, 5 laps led, hasn't been able to find his way back there. You have another driver that's had the lead just behind him, Garrett Kinder. He has 7 laps led. Your pole sitter, it's actually the 67. He got 1 lap led. But Eric Tracy is done for the day. Early exit for him from Darlington. This field has spread out quite a bit in a short amount of time. We've ran about 9-10 laps under green now since that stage break on lap 30. We had a couple cautions very early in that. And now a battle between Bame and Whittington continues for 5th spot. Just ahead of that, Dylan Bates is going after the 13 of Garrett Kinder. They're slowly working their way closer to the 51 of Ray Rogers as well. Last time by, they were about a 10th faster than the 51. So they are catching up to him. Pass in the background there. That's Dana Shepard going to the inside. Actually, just ahead, it was the 14 of Noah Carmen going by Carlson. But Shepard was looking inside as well. Some of the other drivers that have cameras, tough break here today for Anthony Edrington. He's having a difficult time getting around this place here today. We saw him get sent down the racetrack earlier, but live and on board. Shout out to the 77 for sticking it out. Anything can happen here. He can definitely get back on the lead lap. But after that 25th starting spot at the tail end of this field, he's only got one way to go, and that's up. Rogers, who was in the top 10 at one point in this race, all the way back to 19th here. He's the last car on the lead lap. So some handling issues thus far for Matt Rogers in the 96. Alan Smith with a meatball flag. Heavy damage on the front end of this machine. Maybe a popped engine here. Came back out on the racetrack. You can see a little bit of damage. It might be the paint scheme. I'm not entirely sure here. Come back around with that meatball flag. And unfortunately for him, he's coming back down pit road. Bates got around Kinder, though. We missed that pass, and we'll back it up one more time. Kinder very wisely concedes that position, but he'll go back on offense, keeping pace with the 91. Whittington sends it into turn 1. They're all over each other's bumpers here. To the inside, off of turn 4, Kinder back. Trying to get third place, but he opens up the door for the 94 of Whittington to take the high line into 1 and 2, and he'll clear as well. Whittington back to the top 5, now in 4th. Bates gets a little wide there through the entry of 3. Whittington's going to peek to the inside. Doesn't have the drive off of 4 to carry that momentum for the 3rd spot. Ray Rogers has shaved down the lead a little bit here on Eddie Smith, though. Smith is now down to 0.8 of a second. So we're past the halfway mark here on V-Speed, and you know what we like to do here. We like to find those remote controls, the volume switches on your smart device or TV, wherever they may be. Let's get loud here for a few laps around Darlington. Well, we were getting loud there for a few minutes, but it's quieted down for the lead. Stretched back out for 9/10, almost a full second. Eddie Smith has pulled back away from Ray Rogers. Rogers had him down to about 7/10, and I think Eddie Smith might have been saving a little bit. Dialed it back just enough. Now goes back on offense. It's either that or Ray Rogers maybe was pushing it a little bit too hard to catch up to Eddie Smith, and he's now had to dial it back. Either way, it sounds like the lead extending another couple tenths that last time by, and you're seeing another couple tenths as they come down the backstretch. Almost to 1.3 seconds here for the 87 of Smith. Dominant performance thus far for the 87. 50 laps led, 51 now, crossing the stripe. Battle continues back here with 4 different drivers, though. The 91 of Dylan Bates, the 14 of Noah Carmen, 09 of Elliott Carlson, and Dana Shepard in this hunt as well. Oh boy, almost into the back end of the 09. 91 in the wall. That's going to open the door for the 14 coming out of 4. But still can't complete the pass. He'll dive it deep into 1. And now the 09 looking to the outside. A little check up there through 1 and 2. Carlson looking for a hole. He found it. 14 in the wall. This is all for the 5th position. 5th through 8th right on top of each other. Dylan Bates just trying to hold on to it. Oh boy, some contact. 91 holds on to it, but he's going to clip the wall. And heavy damage on the right front for Dylan Bates. Saw that initial contact just prior to that moment. The 09 got into the left rear, a hell of a save for Bates, but still finds the outside wall. He ran out of racetrack trying to save that car. We stay green, but for Dylan Bates, it's down pit road at 45 miles per hour with right front damage. And there goes Eddie Smith across your camera. The lead dwindling down. Rogers made a mistake, and Jesse Whittington got by. He's got the lead down to half a second. Whittington reeling in Eddie Smith. See the gap on the right-hand side, down to half a second now. All riding for both of them through 1 and 2 right there. And that bailed Eddie Smith out. Whittington got into the wall as well. Got it a little bit worse. He had it down to almost 0.3 of a second. And now he's going to choose to come to pit road. And almost bad timing there with the 10 car. He was entering the pits. But Whittington found his way around. This might force the hand of Eddie Smith to come into pits. Let's find out. You see right there, he's already committing to pit road into the entry of turn 3. He'll lock up the front tires, but I think he got it low down enough. No black flag for the 87. 51 follows him in. And that'll give the lead over to the 13 of Garrett Kender, but Noah Carmen right on the back bumper. Very close here. Coming up on 30 to go here. And a lockup on the front tires to try to keep the car down low. But Kender will get it wound up enough. And another good entry to pit road. Rest of this field coming in the top 10. Kender, Rogers, Carmen, Shepard. Edmund misses the entry to pit road almost. Might have had some help here. No, he did not. He just took it a little bit too wide. Let's back this up a little bit further. Riding a little bit too close to the inside wall there. And mistakes were made. Elliott Carlson takes over the top spot. He'll get his first laps led of the day. Now we'll come down for service on the 09. Passon's going to stay out on the racetrack possibly here. Nope, Passon's coming in as well. AJ Rogers committing to pit road way early. And Rick Rube going to try to pass some of these guys. Brandon Wallace going to come by for a lap lead. So cycling out here, Jesse Whittington got ahead of Eddie Smith on pit road. He was faster in and out, and he will cycle out to be your leader after all these pit stops are done. Smith in the background there in second position. Almost got into the back of Chuck Feltz. Close call there for Eddie Smith as Feltz got really tight coming out of turn 2. Whittington yet to lead a lap here as Lottridge, Rube, and Wallace stay out on the racetrack, but he is catching up to him. Four fresh tires on this 94. Eddie Smith just behind him, a second back now. There's the 53 of Passon's coming back up on the racetrack. One lap down here for Passon's. Actually have 11 cars. 10 cars now on the lead lap. 44 of Dana Shepard to the inside of Rick Rube. And they're going by to get their laps back. 44 will be back on the lead lap now. So the 99 is going to have to bring it down. Inevitably not going to make it to the end of this race. They've got 41 laps on the stint for the top three. And a tough break here today for the 17 of Aaron Adcock. He has not had the race that he predicted. On board with the 17, 5 laps down in the 23rd position. Still staying out here trying to get any advantage that he can to get back on the lead lap. But they got to be getting close on fuel here. You see the cars with 4 fresh tires going by on the inside. That's the 09 of Carlson going by now. Whittington's lead has dwindled down a little bit here, though. Eddie Smith's getting by the 8 of Lottridge. But just off the back end here. Dylan Bates, remember, had that contact with the wall, had a little help to get into that wall. He's still flirting with a top 5 finish here today. 51 of Rogers, who's had top 3 speed all night. Probably going to cycle to around the 4th or 5th position. And we've got contact in the background here. I think that's the 09 getting into the back of the 8. No, that is not. I think it was the 96 actually. In the 8 car, coming off of turn 2 into the wall. The closing speed of 4 fresh tires. You can see it here again as the 3 of Alan Smith goes by your leader to get one of his laps back. I really don't believe that the 99 can make it. I think he's just committed to a caution coming out possibly here. Rube has stayed out as well, but the lead used to be 20 seconds after these pit stops cycled for Whittington and Smith. It's down to 8.8. Bates and Rogers go at it down the front stretch. 51 to the inside of the 91. This is for the top 5. Rogers able to clear. And the next position would be Garrett Kinder in 7th spot back here. He's about 3.5 back from these drivers that were just battling. Eddie Smith, 9/10 of a second. He's led the most laps here today, but Jesse Whittington on pit road won that battle. And Smith is trying to claw his way back to the rear bumper of the 94. And Shepard going by the 78 of Cody Boehm. Boehm back to 10th now. These drivers should cycle up a couple more positions as Rick Rube has taken over the top spot. Brandon Wallace got passed by the 81. Remember, Rube stayed out during that stage caution and got the lead, but didn't have it for very long. He's on an entirely different cycle here with fuel and tires. He's going to lead another time by. How much longer can he stay out? As you're seeing Brandon Wallace under fire from the 88 now, trying to get back on the lead lap here for A.J. Rogers. The 10 machine who had heavy contact with the inside wall, and here comes Brandon Wallace to pit road. Hopefully he doesn't make the same mistake as we saw earlier with the 19. He doesn't. 22 of Kieran Church also into pit road. He stayed out quite some time, 55 laps. Whittington just in the background, the lead down to 2.5 now. Lap traffic about to be a factor here for the 94. This could allow Eddie Smith to get back to the rear bumper. Car really loose off of turn 4. Whittington going to take it to the outside, gets really close to the wall here. Smith is catching up. And he has his own lap traffic to deal with. 10 car in the wall right in front of Eddie Smith. Wow. And Eddie Smith picks up some damage from that. The 10 car bounces the wall. Davy Jones puts some damage on the front of Eddie Smith, and that might kill his run to catch up to Whittington. Aaron Adcock has parked it for the night. He is on pit road now in the 17 machine. And this might be a runaway victory for the 94 now with the damage on the front of Eddie Smith. Smith just going to try to hold on to a top 3 and hope that Ray Rogers can't catch up to him within these next 13 or so laps. You can see there on the front end of that 87, caved in a little bit on that Mustang Dark Horse. But it's quite a gap back here to the 51 of Rogers as he goes by here into the entry of 3. So big spread here for the top 5. Closest battle on the racetrack right now is for that 4th position. Garrett Kinder looks inside of the 91. Some contact. He will rub the outside wall. It's going to be close here off of turn 4. Continues the wall ride for the 91. We'll stay side by side into the entry of 1 and 2. Out of turn 4, heavy contact with that wall for Dylan Bates, and he concedes the position to Garrett Kinder up to P4. 10 laps to go as the 94 crosses the start-finish line. Jesse Whittington, 3.7 seconds ahead of Eddie Smith, and 9.6, or 8.9 now. It dwindles back and forth ahead of Ray Rogers. Noah Carmen in the 14 is trying to get around Dylan Bates now as well. Bates losing a lot of positions late in this run. He was looking for a top 5. That might not happen. He's got Dana Shepard and a few others as we get a really good look at the 3D catch fence yet again. 14 car able to clear. Back to 6 now for Bates, continuing to fall. There is a considerable gap back here, though. Dana Shepard has about 2.5 to catch up to Bates, so he might settle out here in the 6th spot to finish this thing up. Meanwhile, you have the 09 of Carlson going by for 7th position. And a cluster of cars going back and forth up in front of this battle. Brandon Wallace, who led some laps there towards the end, got about 12 laps led. The 10 car almost causes some more problems. Davy Jones heavy on the brakes here through 1 and 2. Garrett Kinder got around Ray Rogers. He caught all the way up to 3rd position that fast. We'll back this up a little bit more. I don't know exactly where he caught the 51. He was making pace, though, out of 4. 51 didn't even contest it. So on the move here for the 13, looking like a podium day. Great recovery here for Garrett Kinder with 5 laps to go. Jesse Whittington continues his lead, looking to go back-to-back after his win at Bristol. Four laps left here from Darlington. Whittington led 7 laps last week, got the lead late. This week, different story. Worked the strategy on and off pit road ahead of Eddie Smith, and he will seal the deal here with a total of 20 laps led. I apologize, 17 laps led, as we only have 3 laps left here to be completed. 2 to go now. Hoping the yellow doesn't come out. He just has to get through 3 and 4 one more time, and it will make this race official. Eddie Smith got the stage, but he's going to have to settle for second, because here's the white flag in Darlington, South Carolina. Jesse Whittington is going to be your first multi-time winner this season, and he's going to do it back-to-back. The 94 of Whittington out of 1 and 2, down the back straightaway. And for Apex Sim Racing Cup Series from Darlington, Jesse Whittington is victorious in race number 5. Started in 14th spot, 17 laps led, had the speed to carve through this field and become victorious. Close battles on this racetrack still with Carlson and Dylan Bates. Carlson not able to get around. He'll settle for 7th position. Ray Rogers and Garrett Kinder went back and forth again there within a 10th of each other. Christopher Hinner pulls off a top 10 here today. Congratulations to him after all he had to go through to get here. And we cleaned it up quite a bit as we burn it down on the front stretch. Post-race interviews with your top 3 of those final race results. You are watching Apex Sim Racing Cup Series. More coverage here on V Speed. We'll gather that up right after this.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome back here to our post-race coverage presented by Poman Motorsports. Final race results coming up on your screen as Apex Sim Racing Cup Series has concluded its 110 laps tonight at Darlington Raceway. Eddie Smith got stage number 1. Again, we'll try to work on that graphic to get those results and that stage win up on the top of the screen at the same time, but Jesse Whittington is going to be victorious from 14th position. Eddie Smith settles for a second place finish, and Noah Carmen somehow finds his way to a third place finish. Not exactly sure what happened to Garrett Kinder, but he falls back to Ray Rogers. And the 14 car with a surprise pass is going to get third from 22nd position. Biggest mover of the race tonight, 19 spots gained. Garrett Kinder and Ray Rogers, top 5 finishes. Dylan Bates falls back to 6th. Elliott Carlson, 7th. Those two very close there at the finish. Dana Shepard in 8th position. AJ Rogers claws his way back to a top 10. And Christopher Hinner, again, congratulations to him. He had everything happen to him tonight. Cody Bame in the 78 will finish in 11th. Tracy Passons was end over end, up in the air. 12th place finish for him. Brandon Wallace led some laps, tried to ride it out as long as he could for a caution, but he'll get 13th. Chuck Phelps, 14th position here tonight. 15th for Christian Dedman. After missing pit road, fell off the lead lap. Josh Oswald, 16th position. Matt Rogers, 17th. Rick Rube in 18th. Kieran Church, heavy damage in the 22. He will finish 19th. And Jason Lottridge, 3 laps down in 20th. Alan Smith, 21st position, 4 laps down. Davy Jones, heavy damage on this machine. He finishes in 22nd. Anthony Edrington, tough day for him all day long, off the pace a little bit here in the 77. He'll finish 23rd. And 2 cars off the racetrack entirely. Aaron Adcock packed it up there, 27 laps down. And Eric Tracy, an early exit at about the halfway mark, 68 laps down for the 67. That was your pole sitter here tonight. Tough break for him right at the start of the race. But with that, it's time to bring our top 3 into the broadcast booth. The first driver that we're going to pull in here, I got to ask because I missed it. It's not too often that I miss something like this, but you found your way into the top 3 within the last 5 laps here, Noah.
Yes, sir, I did.
So what happened there? Was there contact between Ray Rogers? It looked like Garrett Kinder and Ray Rogers were far enough ahead that it was going to be a battle between those two, but did they get to battling and allow you to catch up to him? What exactly went on?
Yeah, so they got to battling, and one of them took the line away from the other, and you know how that goes. It just backed them up, slowed them down, allowed me to catch up to them, and then it's just picking them off one by one. It's just all there is to it. I'm just as surprised as everybody else.
Yeah, it looked like they had pretty much sealed the deal there. It was going to be a fight there for Garrett Kinder to get a top 3. You come out of nowhere. I'm looking at my final race results, a little bit confused as if they had wrecked or something bad had happened. But congratulations on that top 3. You stuck it out all race long. I know you had your quarrels. You had things to overcome during this night. A lot of carnage early in this race.
Yes, sir. There was a lot of wrecking. To be honest with you, there was a few of them that I didn't think I was going to get by, but this DEP SRA Chevy really pulled through and was really good to me on the long run.
Well, congratulations, Noah. I believe the first top 3 of the season, if I'm correct on that.
Second, I got one from Daytona, I believe.
Ah, that's right. That was week 1. I remember that now. But, adding to that list, and this should help you. Gained 19 spots, the biggest mover of this race. Anybody you want to shout out while we have you in the booth?
Absolutely. I want to thank Jimmy at Apex Sim Racing for putting this on and helping us throughout the way, and, all the support from my friends and family. And, it was just a really good race for me, starting to get down in the dumps, and it really helped that morale, and we'll see if we can't do it again next week.
Appreciate your time. Noah Carmen, 3rd place finisher. Congratulations to him here for week number 5.
Thank you. Thank you.
Next, we bring up our 2nd place finisher in a race that might have got away. We don't know for sure. A mistake on pit road. I'm not entirely sure what happened there. You lost the lead. and then damage there from the 10 car that just pretty much ruined the day. But nonetheless, still a solid day. You led the most laps, Eddie. Just maybe something that could have went better for you tonight.
I'm happy, man. Man, that was a lot of fun to drive. I love Darlington, and that setup, whatever the conditions were at that track, was just so much fun. It would actually rotate off a 2 that just makes this track what it is. And yeah, I don't know. I had a great time. I had a great time all the way through. It was fun battling with Ray and Garrett and Cody and Jesse there at the end. Jesse saved the tires on that last little run to the green flag pit stops, and yeah, he just pitted before me. I thought about coming down pit road, and then kind of changed my mind because I felt like I was gonna miss it, so I went around again, and he was out ahead of me, and I thought, I'm going to match his lap times. I was watching his times, just trying to keep him within about a second. And because I was pushing early when I came out of pit road and I started catching him, I was like, okay, this is not a good idea. So I just tried to just kind of manage it. And he started catching that lap traffic, and I thought, oh, this would be a perfect opportunity to make up a good amount of time quickly without having to use so much of my tires. And then Davey got a little wide there and bounced it off the wall. I mean, no fault of his own. And come across the nose. It messed up the steering. It wouldn't turn the same anymore. It was just trying to get it to the end. So, yeah, bummer. I don't know if I've been able to pass Jesse. Jesse's pretty good here. But yeah, all in all, it was fun, man. I had a great time.
Well, and it looked good there, especially you got that stage 1 win. So that's going to help you. You're going to add to that points lead you already had here tonight. But all in all, you're winless this season, and I guess I'm more disappointed than you are about it. I thought maybe this is the one.
Nah, I don't care, man. This is virtual car racing. I love this series for a lot of reasons. One of them because I just love the people and the family atmosphere. Apex has been around for a while. It's just always kind of had that fun atmosphere, and people come and go, and the atmosphere can change, get better, get worse, just depending on who's here. But at the end of the day, I still race with my buddies. We laugh. We just laugh till we cry, and that's what it's all about, man. The rest of it, I didn't even know I was a points leader, so I'm happy to hear that.
Well, sorry if that changes the mentality or the approach, but congratulations on another podium finish. This is, I believe, the 3rd time we've had you up in the booth here and putting together some solid top 5s. Anybody got to shout out while we have you in the booth?
Yeah. Shout out to you, man, for broadcasting. Thanks to all the admins, Chuck and Aaron, for putting all this stuff on, putting all the work to get it going. It's been pretty successful, I think. Pretty solid racing. So thank them. And of course, I got to thank Jimmy over at Apex, apexsimracing.com. If you got something you need, a button box, you need a switch, if your refrigerator's light's not working, you need a switch for it, go to Apex Sim Racing, get you one. He does some good work. So thank him.
Appreciate your time. Eddie Smith, 2nd place finish, stage winner, and the most laps led here from Darlington. We look forward to seeing you next week at Iowa.
Bye-bye.
And finally, we bring it to Victory Lane, where we have Jesse Whittington, winner here today. Maybe a little bit of a surprise, maybe no surprise. These guys said you were bad fast here. You knew what you were doing, but it looks like here tonight, you knew exactly the recipe. You paced yourself and found your way from 14th to lead those last 17 laps and go back to back.
Oh, I'm still out of breath from that one. That was a lot of fun, but man, I love this track. I told you last week I had this one circled from the beginning, but I was just sitting there praying for a long run after that stage. In the first stage, I got caught up in two separate incidents, and one of them was a checkup right in front of me, and another one I was looking at a guy that was a little bit above me, and I didn't even see the car that was spinning in front of us, so I kind of pushed us both into it, and then we kind of had a little bit of a run to the end of the stage, able to make up a little bit of track position, and from there, I was, like I said, I was just praying for a long run, and we ended up getting it, and it worked out. It was fun.
On and off pit road there, you got ahead of Eddie Smith, pulled the lead out to almost a full second. Lap traffic started to become a factor. At any point, did you feel like, well, maybe it's not sealed, it's not done yet?
Yes, absolutely. Because I know my thing is, I know Eddie is really quick just about anywhere we go, to be honest with you. And so my goal was to try to catch him off guard a little bit with the pitch strategy. It was either I was going to try to go long and just go all out, or short pit a little bit and hope that I could jump him and make him push his stuff a little bit harder. I thought that was the case until he said that he got into a little scuffle with a lap car. And I mean, I hate that for him, but that's how it ends up happening sometimes. I don't know. I have a lot of respect for Eddie, and he's always clean with me on the track. And I know we've had our little run-ins, but I don't take anything personal with him because I do. And it's not even him; it's me with him in other leagues. I'm glad I was able to battle with him again for the win and get 2 in a row here.
Yeah, it seemed impossible to escape traffic here today. Cars, once they got spread out, it spread out really quickly within 10 laps, and then lap traffic within, just a handful of laps started to become a factor. You overcame that, you got by it, cleared out, and final time off of turn 4, up to 8 seconds there at the end of this thing. Congratulations on going back to back. I know it's difficult here when you look at the statistics, 4 different winners in 4 different races, but now Jesse Winnington maybe in the prime now, starting to dial it up.
Hey, that's what I'm hoping for. I've never had a championship in an iRacing league, so definitely the goal there. So if we can just keep this run going, then that's what we're going to try to keep on doing. Race clean, get some more solid finishes, hopefully get a few more wins along the way, and hopefully come home with the championship at the end of the season.
Outside of that, Jesse, is there anybody you want to shout out and thank for tonight's performance?
Oh, absolutely. First and foremost, I always got to thank my wife, my kids. I can't thank them enough for the support. They don't complain or anything, but whenever I come out here and do these races, and my daughter, she always gets excited whenever I get a win, so I can't wait to tell her about it. But always got to thank them first of all. Of course, I got to throw a shout out to the primary sponsor for this week. It had a little bit new look. Nubwo. These headphones right here, if you're looking for some headphones that are cheap, long lasting, you get about, I think it says 80 to 100 hours of gameplay on them. Go for it on Amazon, Nubwo G06. Go check them out. Premier Racing Setups, those guys have taken me in, showed me a lot of stuff. I'm excited to, see where we can progress from there. Minus 273 gloves. Of course, I got to give a shout out to Apex. Been around for quite some time. I enjoy it over here. I know I took a few seasons off, but I thoroughly do enjoy it over here and the guys that race over here. Got to say thank you to you. Everything that you do week in and week out. I can't wait to go back and watch this one, see how it looked from your vantage point. And last but not least, my buddy Luke Haley, he's always there supporting me tonight. I don't know where he was tonight, but man, I'm probably going to get a phone call from him tomorrow. So, I can't thank everybody that I just mentioned enough for their love and support, and just ready to finish out this season now.
Well, hopefully you like looking at the new 3D catch fence, because my camera angles definitely got a good look at those. For whatever reason, we're going to have to go back and dial up the cameras again. Jesse, appreciate your time coming up here in the booth with us, and we look forward to seeing you next week at Iowa.
Absolutely. Thank you. You have a great rest of your night.
Jesse Winnington, winner here at Darlington, back-to-back in Apex Sim Racing Cup Series. So that's concluding our broadcast day for everybody here at Apex. We're going to go on 1 week's time, 30th of March, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. We're actually going to push, I think we're going to start these at 9:15. It seems the drivers meeting and qualifying are going to finish up right around that 9 o'clock mark. So I might push this back a little bit. We're getting a little bit too early of a start, and a lot of dead air to start this one off. So I apologize for that. Thank you guys all for coming in and being a part. And the sponsors, Apex, Jimmy over there. I did check out the website. I get a lot of targeted ads now on YouTube. It's only a matter of time before I end up buying something from you guys. Appreciate everything you've done here for Apex Sim Racing Cup Series. Aaron Adcock, Eddie Smith, our other producer. This is Bradley Cooper saying so long from Darlington. We'll see you in 1 week's time at Iowa.